Okay, what is happening? What is going on? Welcome to the channel. So hopefully this video is going to get a lot of new people watching the channel. But yeah, if you're new here, I'm Glenn. Welcome to the channel. Hopefully this video helps you, because when I started Blender, I needed a video like this. No disrespect to Blender Guru with his donut, but the thing is, not everybody wants to learn all the things in Blender. Not everybody wants to learn how to model things. You maybe want to create cinematic scenes. So that's probably the reason why I started learning 3Ds, because I'm a photographer first and foremost, and I wanted to, basically it was during COVID and I couldn't go out and take photos, so I thought, well, I'll just create the photos myself in Blender. So that's basically how I learned Blender, and I watched YouTube videos. But what I thought was I'd create a video basically getting started with Blender from my point of view. So hopefully you learn something. Hopefully this helps you, because when I started Blender and I opened Blender for the first time, I didn't even know how to move. I didn't even know how to move around. I didn't even know how to do this. So I actually, to be honest, a little bit embarrassing, but I actually just stopped for like 2 months and had it on my computer, and I didn't even open it again until I was like, no, well, I'm going to figure it out. And I did. But I thought, like I said in this video, I'm going to just do, this will be like a series. I don't know how many parts it's going to be. I don't want to make each video too long, but yeah, this is for beginners, and I'm just going to teach you so that you can get started, start creating your own things, become more comfortable in Blender. So hopefully you enjoy this video, and let's get into it. So mine is, you can see this here. Yours won't have this, but my screen is a little bit different. So I just recreated what will basically happen in Blender for the first time. So enough rambling, let's get into it. So if you want to move, if you do this with your mouse, okay, first thing I would suggest, if you are using a laptop, I suggest plugging in a mouse. It's just easier to work like that instead of working off your mouse pad on your laptop. So just plug in a mouse and it'll be easier. So once your mouse is plugged in and you do this, you can see you can't really move around. So what you're going to need to do is that button, that scroll wheel on the middle of your mouse, just push it down and then move your mouse and hold it in, and you can see that allows you to move. Then you can just find a spot like that, and then this is basically how it will be. So what I'm going to do is just delete all this. So use your mouse, just click there, drag this, hold your left button in, drag over, and then push delete, and it deletes everything. So that's basically how you delete things. Okay, so let me show you how to add something. So let's just move around, and you can see, yeah, let me add something, and I'll just teach you a bit about the views. So what you're going to do is go shift, hold down shift, push shift A, and this will come up. And now go to mesh and go to cube and click on it, and it adds a cube. Now next thing, if you want to zoom in, so let's say I want to get close to the cube, just your scroll wheel on your mouse, just push it forward. So just like scroll it in forward, roll it forward, and that will zoom in. Okay, now if I go here to Z, this will be your top view. So you zoom out, so basically zooming in, and then when you want to zoom out, just go backwards, and this is your top view. So if I hold down the middle scroll wheel again and bring this down, you can see that is our top view. Okay, and then this is our side view. That is the views. So if you want to toggle between them, you can go 1, 7, 9, 3. Okay, that's just a quick way. But next thing, if you want to delete an object, I already showed you. So if you click there, it unselects the object. So you can see here, this is your cube. So if I click it, it will select the object. Or if you click away, you can just click on the object and it selects the object. Okay, now if you want to move your object, so let's say I want to move it, you just push G, and then you can move it like that. So that just free moves it. Or if you want to undo something, I'm going to undo it. You just go to edit, undo, or control Z. Or if you want, you can go to Z and then hit G, and then hold down your middle, your scroll wheel button again, keep it held in, and then just, it will obviously move it along the X axis. So you can move it like that. Then if you want to move it like that, you can see it doesn't move. So but then if you go there, it goes, so it's basically moving it in a straight line, if that makes sense. Okay, so let's put it back. So hopefully that helps. If you want to lift it up, hit G, bring it up like that. You can see that now free moves the object, and then hit Control Z if you want to undo it. Now, if I want to make this object bigger, so select it, push S, and you can see once you push S, don't hold it in, just hit it once, and this thing comes up. You can see now if I move my mouse like that, it makes it bigger. If I move it this way, it makes it smaller. Okay, or what you can do is you can go click on the object, go S5, and it push enter, and it scales it up by 5. Okay, you can also do it like that. It's completely up to you. Next thing, if I want to move it, you can also move it like that. So you can go here. So if you'll be on this, if you click there, move, select the object, and you push, you touch this and you pull it, this moves it on the X axis. If you hit blue, moves it on the Z axis, and then the green on the Y. So you can see that's probably one of the nicer ways to move objects. And then if you want to rotate it, boom, select the object, and you can see if I do this, now you can rotate it like that, you can rotate it like that, you can rotate it like that. Okay, and then also what you could do is if you click here and you click on the object and you hit R once, you can also rotate it like that. And then if you hit, so go out there, select it again, hit R twice, so boom boom, now it lets you like free move the object. Next thing, if you want to get the object back basically in line and centered again, just go here, so object, and you can see all you do is make this 0, boom, 0, boom, 0, boom, and then the rotation, same thing, 0, 0, and 0. And now it's all back. So this also allows you to move it like that. You can move it like that. It basically allows you to move it a bit more accurately. Next thing, if you want to scale the object, click there, click on the object. Now, what will happen is if I select this with the mouse and drag it like that, it makes it like that. And then if I select the red one, it makes it like that. And then obviously the blue will make it higher. So you can do that. And that basically turns it into a rectangle box kind of thing, you know. So those are basically the ones that I use. So hopefully you're starting to understand a little bit better. Like I said, this is just going to be the basics on that. You don't have to worry about these kind of things. But now let's say I want to add a camera. So if I click here, this is your camera, but I don't have a camera in. So obviously if you want, you can go to add a camera, because obviously you're going to need a camera to render something. We'll get into that in another video, but yeah, step by step. Next thing you'd obviously want to do is add a camera. So Shift A, mesh, and now what we're going to do is look for camera, click on it, and you can see the camera comes up here, but we can't find it. So move it to a spot that you want. So something like, let's say I want something like that. Now press Control Alt 0, and you can see this comes up. Now this is your camera. So when I do this, you'll see the camera's over there. Okay. Now if you want, let's say now I want to go back to the camera view, all you do is you click here, toggle to the camera view, boom, and this is your camera. Okay, so this is what will be rendered in the scene, basically, if that makes sense. This stuff, whatever is here and here and here, won't be rendered. This will be in your final image. But what you can do is you can change the scale of the camera. So click there on output, and the resolution, if you want to make it like a 1920 by can see it gets you that kind of camera. So now this will be rendered. Then you can go here to camera, and now don't worry about this for now, but your focal length, basically, if you're a photographer, you'll understand this, but if you're not, let me explain it. So the closer to 0, so if I go back to like that, the wider the focal length, the more it will be basically in the scene, if that makes sense. And obviously the more in is the more to be zoomed in. Okay, that's basically how it works. Shift X and Y is just move it like that, and then up and down. Okay, so it gives you a bit more control of your camera. The rest of the stuff not going to really get into in this video, but that just helps you understand the camera. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave it at that for this video. So hopefully, like I said, this is for people who have never opened Blender before and just getting you a bit more familiar. So this is part 1 of basically that. Hey, what is happening? Welcome back to the channel. So this is part 2 of getting started in Blender. And yeah, if you haven't watched part 1, I would suggest watching part 1, because this is how we got here, and I'm just going to carry on from there. So you might be a bit confused if you didn't watch part 1, so check that out. But yeah, let's carry on with part 2, and yeah, let's get into it. So I'm just going to talk a little bit now about let's go here, the render engines. So you get Cycles and you get Eevee. Workbench you don't have to worry about. But one thing, what I want to do is quickly just show you, if you go to Edit, Preferences, okay, and then you go to System, if everyone's computer and laptop or whatever device you're using to use Blender on, some of them will have GPUs, some of them won't, but yeah, I would suggest running off the GPU. So just make sure that if you've got a GPU, make sure it's selected, and then just go here, save preferences, and you can go out of here. And now when you select Cycles, so you might be in Eevee, and if you're in Eevee it doesn't give you that option, but if you are in Eevee, just click on it, go to Cycles, and then make sure your GPU is selected. Okay, this is the most, basically Cycles is more realistic than Eevee, and that is the basic way to explain it. There's obviously more in-depth ways to explain it, but yeah, that is the basics. If you want super realistic things, Cycles, but it's a lot more demanding on your computer, just bear that in mind. Okay, and then what I want to do is show you this. So if you click here, this is viewport shading. This is basically the wire frame. So as you can see, it's our cube, rectangle. Now obviously it was a cube, it's net. Then this is like basically if you read there, it is viewport shading. It's just the object without all like the textures and that kind of stuff. Then this, you can see same thing, but it's just letting you preview the materials without being too demanding on a computer. And then this is what it's going to look like in the final. Obviously you can see we don't have anything, but you will obviously need a light the scene, and I'm going to show you how to do that. But let's jump back here. Okay, next thing you want to do is you want to add a light. But first thing, let me show you how to basically go to X. So we're in our side view, click on the object, press G, and then drag this up with holding your middle scroll wheel, bring it up to somewhere like that, just above our Y axis. Okay, then what you want to do is go Shift A, go to Mesh, and get a plane. Okay, you'll see this is just a flat surface. You can see it over there if I zoom in. Now with it selected, press S, and then move your mouse to the side to make it bigger, and now we've got a plane. Okay, so next thing, let's make our cube a bit smaller. So click on it, go S and make it smaller, bring it down, and then go back to X, and then zoom in, G, and we bring it down to about there. Now what I'm going to do is show you edit mode. So you know those kind of photography studio stuff where it's got the backdrop, and I'm going to show you how to create it really easily. So we'll do a little bit of edit mode work now. So click on the plane, and we want to go here to object mode, click on this and click edit. Now you can see we've got a few of these things. I'm not going to go into too much detail, But what you want to do is click here, and then with it still selected, click over there. So we're going to select this and then press E, and you can see now when you hold your middle scroll wheel on your mouse in and lift it up, you can see this will come up like that. Bring it to somewhere like that and then click to go out of it. Now we want to get that nice kind of like a smooth backdrop. So we're going to click there again and press Control, hold down Control B, and then move your mouse again like that, and you'll see this will happen. Now keep holding Control B and then just push, like scroll your mouse wheel up like that a few times and then let go, press on it. Okay, now you can click on tab again to go out of edit mode, or you can just click there and do that. Now with your plane still selected, right click and then hit shade smooth, and now it's nice and smooth. Okay, now if we go to camera mode, you can see we got something like that. Okay, we can always fix it later. I'll show you how to scale things wider, all that kind of stuff, but I just wanted to show you how to do that. Now again, if I go here, you can see everything is no lighting, no textures, that kind of stuff. So what I'm going to do is now show you how to light this. So let's do that. So let's go back here, and now let's go Shift A and look for a light. Okay, now you got different kind of lights: point, sun, spot, area, and in this it won't be, you probably won't have this, it's an add-on, but don't worry about it. What I want to do is show you how to use a area light. So what you're going to do is click there, you can see it's coming like that. So now what you want to do is go to X, you can see it's still selected, hit G, and then your scroll wheel and bring it up to somewhere like that. Then with the light still selected, push S and make it bigger, something like that. And now you'll see if I go here, nothing has happened really, it's only a little bit of light. And what you basically need to do is make it more powerful. So let's stay in edit, let's stay in this our main mode, and then go here. So with your area light selected, look for this, and now we've got this menu, and now you can see color, all that kind of stuff. What you want to do is change the power, so we can go 150. You can see now it's getting a bit more powerful. So let's go to somewhere like 500. And it's looking really quite nice. Okay, now basically what I'm going to do is make it a little bit bigger. So S, scale it like that, and it's just giving it a bit more softer light. Okay, we can always change it later. What I'm going to do is show you a cool thing. So what you're going to do is go to world. So this is basically your world, if that makes sense. It's your lighting, it's all that kind of stuff. So you won't have this, it's an add-on as well, don't worry about it. But what I'm going to do is select the color, so click there and drag this all the way down. Okay, so it makes the lighting look a little bit more better. And then let's just make the light a bit more brighter. So let's make it 1000. That looks better. Okay, you obviously got to play around with it to find until you like the lighting. But we don't want it too bright, but we don't want it too dim either. Okay, and then you can obviously change the color. I'm not going to change the color on this in the scene, and everything else you can see if I take it off, it will take the shadow away, but then it won't look realistic. So you want that shadow just to make it look nicer, that kind of stuff. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to add color to our backdrop. Okay, so select it, and then I'm going to show you how to do that. So now we're going to learn a bit more about the shading editor, or the shading node, whatever you want to call it. So you're going to click there, and now this will pop up. Okay, don't worry, same thing. So we're going to click here, and then let's go back to our camera mode, just bring it to somewhere like that, and you'll see it will look exactly the same. Now with your plane selected, hit new, and this is going to come up. If you want to move If it comes up like this and you want to move this to the side, just push your middle scroll wheel in, move it like that. Okay. Now your principal BSDF is where you'll do a lot of the work and you'll plug things in and that kind of stuff. Not going to complicate things too much with the backdrop. I'll show you how to put a material on this. We'll create one in the next episode. But yeah, what I'm going to do is show you how to just change this background. Very easy. So base color is basically, if I zoom in, is your color. So now if you click there, you can then change the brightness. So you can make it dark all the way black. You can bring it up, or you can make it a different color. So you can just find something that you like. Let's go with like a blue, and then metallic. So if you drag it like this, it'll make it metallic, and then it makes it look like that. And then your roughness, you bring it up or you bring it down. You can see all the way down is, and you bring the metallic down, you'll see it basically has that kind of reflections. So you want to find something that you like. So usually roughness, you'll go somewhere like that. Just make it look nice and realistic. That looks quite nice. Not going to worry about anything else, but that's basically very simple way to just change the color in your scene. So let's jump back. So now you want to go back to your main mode, which is your layout mode. You just click there, and there we go. Now we just want to get somewhere. Also, don't worry about these things. When you render the image, this won't come in. So if I do this, that's basically what it would look like if I go to camera. That is what it's going to look like. You see this black, this will be rendered instead of these like lines and that kind of stuff. It won't be rendered in your scene. It will look like that, but we'll fix it. Don't worry, don't stress. We'll move the camera, but let's just go here. So next thing what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically make this block. So let's just go here, and click here, zoom in, and get this to be on the y-axis. So G, bring it down, make it somewhere like this. What I'm going to do is we're going to basically make like a scene and put like a model. I'm going to show you how to import a model in the next episode, and we're going to put a model on here just to like basically showcase it, as you can see. So we'll put the model like this, and then just basically this will be like a pedestal. We'll scale a little bit, that kind of stuff. This will be done in the next episode, but hopefully you've learned a little bit more. And yeah, make sure you subscribe if you want to watch episode 3. I'll upload it tomorrow. But yeah, that's it for episode 2. And what I'm going to do is just quickly show you just how to save it so you don't lose the file, so we can carry on tomorrow if you want. So hit file, hit save as, boom, and then you're going to find where you want to save it. So if you want to save it to, I've got a scenes thing that's called, mine is called beginner video blend.blend, which is .blend is like the file type. It's, you know, like JPEG, PNG, all that kind of stuff, MP3, MP4, etc. .blend is your blender file, and then you're just going to hit save as, boom, and it will save it as. Okay. And what's also good is while you're working, so if you do a few more other things, and if you carry on without worrying about if you're going to lose it, you just hit file and then save, and then every time you do something else, it will save it in the last place you've done that. Okay, welcome back to episode 3. Like I said in episode 2, if you haven't watched episode 1, make sure you start and watch episode 1, 2, and then 3, so you know we got to this point. So we are here now, and what we're going to do is carry on. So next thing I want to do is I'm going to just show you where to find models, or I'll show you a website that I use, and then show you how to import them and that kind of stuff. So first thing, you're going to type in Sketchfab and then go here. So let's go in here. Okay, you just have to accept, and then you might have to create an account, but yeah. Okay, so now what we can do is we can search. So what I'm going to look for is a car. So let's go with car, and then just hit downloadable. Okay, and then just type in car, and it will start to come up. Now you can see here, if it's got a S, you can see you got to pay for it. Okay, if it just doesn't have an S, it means it's free, so you can download it. Now let's find one. So let's find something decent. We don't want something dented. We want something that looks quite good, and that's obviously free. Duh. So let's find something. Let's see here. Well, no. Okay, let's go with this one. So all you do now is you just click there. So download, and then this will come up. Now you can choose the formats. What I usually use is GLTF. It's normally the easiest. And all you do is just hit download. Obviously it will then download like that. Okay, and then once it's downloaded, you can see it's almost downloaded. It will probably be in your downloads. So what you can do is you can exit here and go to your downloads. So let's go here, and I'll find my downloads, and it will be over here. Then click on it, and then you just want to extract it. So you go extract all, extract, and it will extract, and then it will also be in your downloads. But what I would suggest is maybe move it to your desktop so you can find it easily. And you can close this. Let's go back into Blender. And one thing I'll show you. So if you click on window, you know, if you've got this bars here, you don't want it, just click window, toggle full screen, and there we go. And then if you want to go out of there and you want to change it back, same thing, toggle full screen, and there we go. Okay, pretty cool. Just thought I'd show you. So now we want to import that model. So what you're going to do is go to File, Import, and then you're going to look for GLTF, and you click there. Now you're going to go to your desktop. Boom, and there it is. Double click there, and then double click there, or click once, import. And it will import, give it a chance. So let's go to wire mode. Okay, it's over here. So now it's over there. So just go G, bring it up somewhere like that. And now let's go back here. You can see here's the car. So let's go to X, G, bring it down to over here. And let's have a look now. And there we go. Now the car has been imported. And it's looking pretty nice. Okay, next thing what you want to do is we can delete this. So we just delete that plane, and now the car is here. Now what you want to do is, so if you click on here, let me just show you. So if you click here, you click on this part and you push G, you'll see now it will move and it messes up the car. So just what you want to do is just click there, and it selects the whole model, and then you can go G, and then you can move it. Okay, so just be careful. And that's locked to the cube. Okay, now what you're going to do is I'm going to texture. Let's go here. I'm going to texture this cube and give it a nice funky kind of texture. So let's do it. What you're going to do is go back to shading. So select the cube, go to shading, boom. And now let's go here. And what we're going to do is hit new. And then what you're going to do is you're going to bring this metallic all the way up, bring the roughness down a little bit. Now what you're going to do is click there. I'm going to just show you how to create a quick texture. So you're going to go Shift A, type in search, and type in Voronoi, VOR, and you can see there. Now we're going to put this here. So let me just bring this higher so you can see it a little bit better. And then you're going to plug the color into the displacement. And you can see we're starting to get a little bit of this kind of stuff is what we want. So let's go here. Now what we're going to do is we're going to shift this up and go Shift A again and type in Musgrave. So we can get a Musgrave texture and plug the height into the vector of the Voronoi, and you can see we're starting to get a cool looking kind of pattern. And now you can play with the scale, so you can bring it down, or you can bring it up. Just find something that you like. I kind of like this. Now what you're going to do is I'm going to show you how to copy and duplicate textures or nodes. So click on this, so it selects that, go Shift D and bring this there. Same thing for the Musgrave, Shift D, bring it there, and then just move this here like that. And then what you're going to do is plug the height into the vector, and then take the Voronoi color, plug it into there. Okay, now we're getting some kind of funky colors. And now obviously if you don't want these kind of colors, what we can do is just take this there, and now you're going to go Shift A again and type in color and get a color ramp and plug this in there. And now what you can do is if I go here, you can see how that's looking. So you can see this, the blue from the lights is actually reflecting, and it actually looks pretty cool. But what we can do is we can click on this and then just go here and bring the metallic down, bring the roughness up, just so we get not as much reflections. And then click back on your cube. And what's cool is if I zoom in, you can actually change. If I go to the top view, what I might do is change this blue back to like a white, or even like a dark black. It makes the scene look pretty cool. And then let's go back here, and just for interest's sake, if you want to change the colors of these, so you can see there, you just click. So go to your color and click. So if I click on this one, it's the black color. If I click on this, it's the white. And then all you do is you just click there and you can change the color. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave it at like a white, maybe even change it to like a gray. And then what's also cool is if you just click here plus, you can add another color in. So you can click there and you can change it like that, which is pretty cool. But what I'm going to do is just leave it somewhere like that, make it like a gray, something like that. And then this, you can see if I bring the black in, it makes it more black. And obviously if I move the gray, same thing. So you can have a bit of more control over it. But this looks pretty cool. Look at that. And if I go back to layout, look how cool that's looking. Now you've added a model in to Blender. You've learned how to do that. You've learned where to download some models, how to do it. You've created a quick texture. Looks pretty cool. Okay, welcome to episode 4 of Getting Started with Blender. So, like I said in previous videos, if you haven't watched episode 1, 2, and 3, you won't know how we got here. So, what I'm going to do is suggest that you watch those. But let's carry on with episode 4. So this is where we are at the moment. If I go here, this is what we've got. Okay, what I want to do is show you, let's say you don't want to use, let me just hide this light. So also a pretty cool thing is if you want to hide an object, so let's say you want to hide the cube, you just click there and it hides it. Okay, and then if you want to bring it back, you just click on it again, and this will only hide it. So if you now go here, zoom in, and you want to render this image. Okay, so you want this image as your final image, and this is still selected, so this is still enabled. It will add the cube in your final render. It's just to view, if that makes sense. So only when you're viewing it now will you not see the cube. But if you don't want the cube in your final render as well, you're just going to click there, and you can see it's got the X there, and it will disable the cube in your final render. Just thought that might be interesting for you. So let's bring this back. Okay, so what I'm going to do is show you how to import HDRI, because let's say you want to take this light away and you don't want to use an area light, okay, and you just want to add a HDRI. Then let me show you how to do it, because it could be handy for next for your other renders and that kind of stuff. So like I taught you, go to window and then go to new and then go to toggle full screen, and then you're going to go to a website called Polyhaven, and then you're going to go to assets, HDRIs, and you can see here, these are them. So you want to get something, depending on your scene. So we've got kind of like an indoor scene, so we're going to click there, and let's just download this one. So, or let's go with this one. So click on it, and you can get 4K, 8K, 16K, 1K, 2K. What I suggest is just go with the 4K. Click on download, and then this will come up, and it will start to download. You can see there, and it's called small empty room. Just remember that, because we're going to need to find it. So it's a .x, it's a .exr file. So we're done with that. We can go here, and we are back in Blender. Let's do this. Now, how do we add a HDRI? So let's go here. One cool thing is if you click here and I turn it off, you can see this is with an HDRI that comes with Blender, but when you render it won't show the HDRI. It's just to view it while you're working. But let's add one quickly. So you're gonna go to shading, and now you're gonna click here, go to world. Okay, you can see this is here. Now what you want to do is go Shift A and type in environment, get an environment texture, plug the color into the color, and now we need to find the HDRI that we downloaded. And then what you want to do is go open and search wherever you saved it. I saved it on my desktop, and it's over here. So just click there and open it. And now if we go here to layout, you can see it's added the HDRI. Okay, so that can also light your scene. If you don't want to use the HDRI and you want to use the area light, so you can take the area light off. If you want to switch it off, let me just close this. You just go back to shading, and then just do this. So just unplug it, and then go there, and now you don't have the HDRI. So it's up to you. I kind of like it like this. So now let's just scale this, make it bigger, because you can see our camera. We want a nice camera view, something like this. Let's bring this down. So click on this, and let's go here to scale, bring this down, something like that, and then click on your model, and then let's go to X, hit G, bring it down so it touches there. Now let's go back to camera. It's starting to look nice. So now we can always find a decent spot, something like this, and then just go shift. You can bring it like that, so you find something that you like. So now let's go here and just click there on your thing, and then just scale it like that. So that's when I go to camera now, it looks like that. So now let's say we don't want the old camera view, we want to snap it like this. So just click on your camera and then go Control Alt 0, and this will come up. Now you can see the camera is now like this. So we just got to adjust a little bit like I showed you. Shift X and shift the Y. So shift it like that, and then just bring the Y up. Let's make this a little bit bigger. So we just do this, and then just go G, bring it down, something like that, and then bring our car down again. So there, boom, G, bring it down, something like that, a little bit lower. So G, that looks good. Now let's go back to camera view. And what we want to maybe do is just make our model a little bit bigger. So click there on the Sketchfab model, go S, scale it up, scale it something like that. That's looking pretty cool. And now what we can actually do is just rearrange this. So click on our cube, bring it like that, then like this, bring it like that. Just so we find something we like. Same thing with the camera, just adjust it. Something like that. Like I said, this is not something perfect. I'm just trying to show you just what you can do in Blender. So now, let's say we want to light this a little bit nicer. So let's add another light. So let's go back here. And then what you can do is, let's go Shift A. Same thing, light, area. And then go to X, G. Same thing, bring it up. And go to Z to go to top view. And then go G, bring it like this to the side. G, bring it forward. And then S, let's scale it up. And now, what you want to do is hit R twice. So, boom, boom. And this allows us to rotate it freely. So now we can point it on the car. And then, let's go back to our side view. And look at the power. Let's make it about 250. And then let's go and have a look. And now, you can see if you bring this up, it's like 1000. Brings it up more. I think 250 looks good. Just adds a bit more detail, dimension, that kind of stuff. And what you could also do is, let's go back here. What you could also do is add another plane. So you only really need this backdrop. What you could do is go Shift A, get a mesh, get a plane. Then go S, scale it up. Go X again. And then what you're going to do is go here to rotate, and then just flip the plane like that. Doesn't have to be perfect. Then G, and then G to bring it higher. Something like that. And then G, bring it like that. And then S, scale it up. We might need to adjust it. Now, you can see here. Okay, so now what we can do is this material of the cube, we'll add it to this material. So click on the plane, the second plane, go here to material, hit new, click here, and now we want this material. So there we go. And now it's added it to here. So look how cool that's actually looking. You can see there, just adds a bit of weirdness, that kind of stuff. So we can also go G, bring this here. You know what I mean? Just to get the right, almost like it looks like it's on a pedestal. You can bring it like that. Click on this plane, then go to scale, and just scale a little bit wider. That kind of stuff, and that's looking pretty cool. And I think I'm happy with that. What I'm going to do now is, let me show you how to render. So what settings to use. So you're going to go here to render, make sure in cycles, and then here under the max samples for your render, just make it 200. And then let's go here to performance, change this tile size to 256 and enable persistent data. And now all you do is you just hit F12, boom, wait for it to render. Depending on how good your computer is, that all depends on how long it's going to take to render, but it shouldn't take too long. You can see mine, a couple of seconds. And there we go, you've just created your first scene. All you do is you go image, save, and then find a place to save it as. Okay, and that's it. That's your first Blender render done. Hopefully you learned a few things. Hopefully it's been interesting for you. Hopefully hopefully that helped. I really do hope this video helped you. Share it with a friend, share it with your grandmother, share it with your enemy, and check out the Patreon link in the description. Check out some of my other links, help support the channel. But hopefully you enjoyed the video like I said, and make sure you subscribe. See you in the next video. Peace.